Hello stampers and crafters. In this video I'm going to be showing you the March paper pumpkin kit and a few alternative cards that you can make using this kit. So if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin is a subscription kit that you get every month. It's a surprise every month. We do get sneak peeks and previews. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you will see those. But it's a surprise every single month, and it's like, I think like HelloFresh, FabFitFun, those types of kits, but you get everything you need in the box to make the project, including a stamp set and an ink spot. An ink spot is just a little version of our, ink pad. So this is an ink spot you'd get in a Paper Pumpkin, and this is the full-size ink pad. So it is quite smaller, but it's also a great way to build up your stamp and ink collection. So let's open this up and I'll show you what is in the box, and then I will show you some alternative cards using this kit. So like I said, this is the March 2022 kit, Beyond the Horizon, and this is what it looks like when you first open the box. Let me do that so you can see everything. So looks like we have a ribbon and it in pale papaya. That's pretty. And then this is the stamp set. Oh, we get 2 stamp sets in this one. How fun. So flowers, some nice images, some good sentiments. We'll go through those in a minute. A Misty Moonlight stamp spot. So this color is retiring on May 3rd when the new catalog launches, but it's still a good color to have. I love Misty Moonlight. A little flyer for, this is next month's Paper Pumpkin, Changes Beautiful, and that's the little sneak peek they give it, so it looks like it might have butterflies. And then a thank you. So that's why we got 2 stamp sets, because it's a big thank you for all the Paper Pumpkin subscribers. You always get this fabulous tissue paper that I kind of save, and I put it with presents and things. So I'm going to unwrap this, and then your kit, I'll get that out of the way in the box. Your kit looks like this. So this is the Beyond the Horizon. My light's getting in the way. This is the Beyond the Horizon Paper Pumpkin. And these are the projects that you can make. So it looks like it makes 9 cards. And then we're going to open this up and I'll show you everything you get. And your first Paper Pumpkin, when you're a new subscriber, comes with a stamp block. And what that is this. So this isn't the exact one that you get. It's the same size, but it's a little bit thinner. So like half of this size. This is the Stampin' Up! D block. But all your stamps will fit on a D block. I'm going to open this up. So this insert here not only shows you what's in the kit or what you can make in the kit, but this is also your full color instructions, so that you can make the project exactly as intended. And a little cardboard in there. We'll flip this back over. So we have the ribbon, the stamp sets, and the ink. These are Stampin' Dimensionals for adhesive to pop your things up. Some pretty sequins. And then it looks like 3 different designs of envelopes. There's one. And this also coordinates with the New Horizon suite in the January to June MIDI catalog. Oh, those are pretty. And then these are the card bases. Probably 3 of each of these ones too. And then some die cuts to stamp sentiments or images on. Those. Pretty. More card bases. So lots of stuff here. And I hardly ever use every single element from my Paper Pumpkin, so I have lots of leftovers that I can use on other projects. These are pretty. These are also die cuts. More die cuts here. Some little die cut leaves and, I don't know, leafy things. Mountains. You get 3 sheets of these. And then some mini glue dots, which is another adhesive. So that is so fun. So this is what comes in your kit. Sorry, let me bring stuff back in. So this is what it comes in your kit. If you would like to subscribe and get next month, April's kit, which is the Change is Beautiful be sure to click the link in the description. So for the first card, it's going to use everything from the kit. All these things come from the kit. The only thing I'm using different is I'm using my full-size Misty Moonlight ink pad just because that's easier for me. But you can definitely use the Stampin' Spot. We're only using 2 stamps. I've already mounted them, one to a B block, one to a D block. These will both fit on your Paper Pumpkin D block though. So I just picked a couple of elements. I picked one card base and just a couple of elements. So I'm going to fold over my card. Just burnish that with a bone folder just to get a nice crisp edge. And then we're going to put down our little spriggy leafy thing first. I will use the glue dots that come with this. I'm just going to flip this over. And I'm just putting a few glue dots on the leaves. And then when I'm ready, I will peel off the backing just like this. Okay, I've taken off all the backings of this, and honestly, I tend to not use the glue dots that come in the Paper Pumpkin kits. I tend to use something like liquid glue or Stampin' Up's glue dots, which come on a roll. They are slightly larger than the ones that come in the kit, but I just find them easier to work with. These are kind of tedious and a pain in the butt, but you can use them. I want to show that you can use what comes in the kit. So everything is, all the adhesive is, or the backings is off the adhesive. I'm just going to set that down and push all my glue dots down. And then I also have this piece from the kit that's going to go there. And you can use your glue dots for this. I'm just going to use a little bit of Stampin' Seal. This is my preferred adhesive. I love tape runners. I'm going to set that about there. And then for the next part, we're going to put on dimensionals. So I'm going to flip that over, and these are the dimensionals that come in the kit. Stampin' Up also sells them. They're very cost effective in my opinion. I love dimensionals to add a nice bit of pop. So I'm just going to set that there. And then we're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I have my little die cut sentiment piece. I'm just lining it up on my grid paper just to make sure I get the sentiment straight. I'm going to open my Misty Moonlight ink pad, and I have the Sending You Birthday Wishes stamp, and I'm just very lightly tapping. Now if I had an ink spot, I would take the ink spot to this stamp, and probably this one too. It's just easier for me. You can do it however you're comfortable. And that's not fully saturated. Hold on. Just make sure. Okay. And then I'm just lightly kind of pushing just to make sure that there's full coverage there. And then I'm going to take my leaf and bring my card base back in. And I like to decorate the insides of my card. So that's what we're going to be using that leaf for. I'm just going to set the ink pad on top of that carefully. And I'm going to, let me make sure you can see this. I'm going to stamp the bottom corner here. And I don't know why, but my ink pad is not, there we go, wasn't inking up my stamp. I'm going to put a little spriggy thing there. And then another one at the top corner. And then that's it for stamping on this card. I wanted to kind of keep this one a little bit simple, but now we can put on our sentiments. I'm just going to take a little bit of my seal again. Again, you can use the glue dots that come in the kit. You can use liquid glue, whatever you have on hand. And I'm just going to kind of offset that a little bit. And then I'm going to take some of these sequins that come in the kit. If I can figure out how to open them. There we go. And I'm going to pop a couple on our card. I'll grab my paper piercer. Again, my Take Your Pick tool. Oops, maybe not. The whole thing came out. So hang on a second. Let me see if I can get that back in. There we go. You could also use the tip of a pair of scissors. I know some people like to use like a pencil. I'm just going to kind of randomly place 3 to 5 around my card. I like putting on embellishments in odd numbers. I just feel like it's more aesthetically pleasing. And that is our first paper pumpkin alternative. So for our next card, we're going to do a little bit of paper cutting. So I have a couple of elements from the kit and then this card base. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this card base down. So I'm going to measure it. It should be about 4 1/4. Yep, it is. So I'm going to go down to 4 inches. Just cut that off. So I do have a little square line there. This would be a good scrap though to use for die cutting or anything like that. And then I'm going to go on the other side and go to 3 3/4. And then we want our finished card to be 3 3/4 by 5. So this should be 5 1/2. It is. So I'm going to cut 5 1/4 on this, on the bottom side. And then I'm going to flip it around again and cut at 5. So our finished piece here is 5 by 3 3/4, and there's like a little border all the way around. So I'm just going to set that aside. I also have a piece of Misty Moonlight that we're going to use for our card base. I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4 on the, I have the 8 1/2 inch side at the top. It goes 8 1/2 by 11, 8 1/2 inch size at the top. I'm cutting it 4 1/4, just cutting it in half. And then you have another card base for a different card. Move my cutting blade to the top, turn this, and score at 5 1/2. So this card, I'm throwing a couple extra things at it. So this would be more for like a casual crafter if you have these extra products. Now I just have a piece of Highland Heather that I'm going to cut at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And then we can layer all our pieces together. So there's my base, and then that sits on top of it, and that will go on top. And I picked Highland Heather because this little purpley color here is Highland Heather, and it just kind of brings it out a little bit more. I'm also going to be using the ribbon that comes in the kit. So what I like to do is just lay that out and give it a rough measurement. Take my paper snips, give them a snip, and then I'm going to attempt to tie a bow. So I have my bow, which I sped up because I'm not good at ribbon. I try to be. Practice makes perfect, and I just need to practice a little bit more with my ribbon, but I did get a bow. So sometimes I like to just even do a faux knot. If you have like maybe arthritis, your fingers don't work so good and you can't work with a smaller ribbon, just tying a knot too. I do that a lot because sometimes I just can't be bothered with a bow. So now I'm taking a little bit of Scotch tape, just 2 pieces. Move this and take the first panel here from our card base. And I'm going to go, I like to kind of lay out where it's going to be. Kind of want it there. So I'm going to wrap this around. Tape it down. And it's okay if your tape gets a little lumpy. It's fine. We're hiding it. And then I bring this part around. Tape it. It's stuck to the front there. Now I can take my seal. You could also use your liquid glue or the glue dots that come in the kit for this. Stick it to my Highland Heather layer. And then I can stick that to our card base. You are also going to need a piece for the inside. You could definitely use the other piece of the card base that we cut apart. This part. If you just cut off, I might actually just do that. I'm going to cut off, I'm off camera, I know, but I'm just cutting off that score line. And we'll use that for the inside of our card. Because with dark card bases like this, you could for sure write in if you had maybe like a white gel pen or something. I'm going to have to cut that down more. So it should be 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to cut that down a little bit more to 4 inches so it fits inside. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but just cutting it down. There, that should fit on the inside now. And stick this down to our front. Make sure it's going the right way. And then We can even stamp on that. I didn't think to do that, but I'm liking the idea of stamping on the inside. So let's see, what do I want? I like these little leaves here. Maybe we'll use those. And the little berries or dots or whatever those are, we'll use those. So I just have an A block and then my B block. Again, we're going to use all one color. You could definitely use different colors if you wanted. So we'll stamp this one first in the Misty Moonlight. How do I want it? Like maybe that way. And it is going to go off a little bit. I like that. It looks like blueberries. Now I'm going to take my little die cut sentiment piece that comes in the kit. I'm just lining it up with my grid paper. I have the congratulations stamp from the stamp set that comes with the kit. Sorry if you can see the top of my head. I don't know what is going on with my Misty Moonlight, but it's not, it's like drying out. But it's retiring, so I'm not going to get a refill for it. But it is what it is, and we'll just have to work with it. Looks good to me. So I'm just going to put my ink pad away and just clean up my stamps quickly because I do like to stick my fingers in them. I'm just using a little bit of Stampin' Mist on my Stampin' Scrub. There is a wet side and the dry side, and now my stamps are clean. They also have a Simply Chamois. I like my Stampin' Scrub. I've had my Stampin' Scrub for almost 10 years. It's my go-to method of cleaning my stamps. So now I'm going to take this and I want to put on my sentiment first, just because we're going to have to hide our adhesive because this is very see-through. So I'm going to put this down with a little bit of seal and just stick it across, and then I can put a little bit of seal on the back of that. And I'm going to put this, I don't want to cover up those mountains. I really like them. I'm going to put this up at the top, kind of like it's flying. And you could have even used Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that. And then I'm also going to grab one of these glue dots that come in the kit and flip my ribbon over and just stick it to that. Get rid of the backing. And then I can stick my ribbon down. I think I want my ribbon there. And then a few embellishments because I like bling. Oh, we gotta put the inside of the card in too. And I like bling. I always add a little bit of sparkle or razzmatazz to all my projects. There's the inside, and then I will get my paper piercer again and add a couple of these sequins. One up in the clouds and the mountains. One down here. I'm going to do 3 on that one. So, and that is our paper pumpkin alternatives for this month. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.